And face the flag and pledge allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, first on the agenda, review and discussion of the March 16th, 2026 meeting minutes.
I saw two things. Third page, IT services. It's should be Donnie, not Dominic.
DONNIE.
Yeah. And then on the last page, under let's see, that last page, under bills, 1, 2, 3, fourth paragraph, second sentence on the towards the end, sergeant. Should be SERGEANT, not SAR. I didn't see anything else.
Anybody got anything else?
Make a motion, we approve the minutes from March 16th, 2026 as corrected.
Motion made by Kevin, second by Barb. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? All in favor, motion carried. Next will be the review and discussion of the meeting minutes from March 19th, 2026 for the special meeting.
Let's see. Make a motion, we approve the meeting minutes for March 19th, 2026.
Second.
Motion made by Kevin, second by Barb. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? All in favor, motion carried. All right. Anybody got anything from public comment? Anybody in the crowd that's not on the agenda? All right. Radio club.
We have the radio club here tonight. They're wanting to use the fairgrounds and I'll let them speak on what it's for.
Our national club has an event every year. We all get together, go out in the wild someplace and set up antennas, radios, generators if needed, or batteries backup to run it and so forth. Someplace not usually set up at, and we try to operate for 24 hours and contact as many people around the country as we can. And so those radio club has been holding it for the last couple of years down at Terry Waters' place, south of town. And thought we'd try something different and get the fairgrounds this year and see if that's available for 24 hours. We're going to be there all night long and be trying to operate for as much as we can. So
What dates are you thinking?
that's June 27th on it.
27th and 28th.
Starts at, we'd be there setting up probably early in the morning, not early, but in the morning of June 27th, and we'd operate till 1 p.m. on the Sunday, and then we tear down, probably gone before 2 o'clock, 2:30, something like that usually.
How much room do you need?
Not that much. It has to be within a 1,000 foot circle to start with. So it's probably just gonna be around the restroom that's sitting right there. I don't think we'd be probably more than 50, 100 feet at the most.
How many antennas we put on?
Probably,
No more than 3. I
we're
don't
talking
Okay.
about 2 radio setups, but they're probably a third antenna, so we can switch back and forth.
So probably, what would that be, about 150, 200 feet circle? Well, how tall are they?
Depends, probably about 20, 30 foot tall, somewhere in that range.
With your guidelines? About
Depends,
that, yeah, okay.
yeah.
Being that close to the, sorry.
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say, is there anything on the schedule for that weekend? Nobody has anything else booked, right?
Biggest issue I see is going to be we're gonna be underway with renovations. Right there
Are we?
by that.
Are we actually going to be on?
Well, if you look at the start dates, there's one, the one that, the lowest bid is, May 1st.
But that's gonna be, if they're doing it in the fairgrounds around the restrooms, most of that work's gonna be in the south part.
Depending on where they start, and what they're doing and how many, because there's a multi-purpose pad going in right beside the restroom.
I'm sure the radio club would be flexible with moving
We
locations.
we
if
can
the
move, we don't
area-
have to be right up against it, yeah.
So like even if you were like to set up like more like north by the like dog park.
I don't see a problem with that, as long as the restrooms are available for us to use. I don't think that'd be a problem.
Being the residential area, I know that I kind of asked Emily about it. Being around residential and you mentioned generators. What kind of generators are you gonna have if you're running at night?
So far, we're talking about 2 Honda generators.
May I answer that?
Sure, go ahead.
I have two 2000 Honda generators. They're 52 dB at their loudest level. These
Okay.
are very, very,
So
very
not
Very
quiet.
quiet, yeah.
Yes. I supply them. I have 3. Probably only need 1, but they're very, very low noise, and they operate. They'll go 7-8 hours on 1 gallon of gasoline.
Last question I'm sorry, Holly, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Last question I got, if you do come in, being a new event in town, you're gonna get a lot of looky-loos.
And that's what
That's what we want.
One of the reasons why we want to be there in the first
Counting
place.
on it.
Yeah,
Okay,
we'd like to have somebody come, our people come by and we can answer questions and so forth.
cool.
Yeah, I move we approve the amateur radio club for June 27th through 28th.
Second.
Motion made by Holly, seconded by Ron. Any further discussion?
I have one.
Yeah.
If they need it, can the maintenance department set up a GP medium army tent for them to utilize?
I don't see
I
why
would
not.
say yes. Yeah, sure. We have 2 of them in the shop that hardly ever do use it.
Pending weather. Is that what you mean?
Huh?
Pending weather, is that what you
Yeah.
mean?
Then you just be like being here at Fort Riley.
Yeah.
That's a nice thought.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Alright,
All those opposed? All in favor? Motion carried.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think you'll actually enjoy having us out there. It'll be a huge educational program for the
Was this part of the
citizens of the area.
radio thing too?
No,
Okay,
that's the
next thing.
streets.
Okay.
you guys are welcome to stay for the rest of the meeting, or you're welcome to
Next
go
would be
either way.
park committee.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. If you have any questions, I'm Jim Doyle. I know him. You can follow me.
Will do.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
very much.
Back to Mark here.
Park, yeah, they're
I know over that corner.
All right,
seats in the front row too.
We made our own seats on the side. So you should have a lot of park information in front of you, I think.
the only thing we put in was the
Oh, okay,
numbers there.
okay.
I thought that was streets.
Well, then
Oh, no.
I guess I will start with all the back info. So they didn't get the info of all the different bids.
That's the big tab with the info.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. And what was sent in email, we couldn't open it.
They want to go?
Nope, the PDF wouldn't open.
Yeah.
Sure, call me.
Okay, well, whatever I can't answer, the professionals are in the front row, so they can answer. So basically you should be able to see that one of the bids came in significantly lower than the other 2, which is my understanding never happens, so we're very thrilled about that. So what that leads us to is, because we really should spend the $650,000 grant. And so now we have some money to play with. So if you remember in the beginning when we put in for the grant, we put our whole wish list in there, everything we wanted to do. And then the Jones came in lower, so then we had to cut out some of our wants. And cementing, concreting, the walking path was one of the things that we took out because we didn't have the funding for it. So now, with that lower company's bid, we can do a change order and put back in the cement walking trail with the exercise equipment and the benches, because those will fall underneath playground equipment. So they would both be considered change orders, and the concrete would come in at the same price as what his bid was for the company. Garabee was the company that came in lower. So of course, when we opened the bids that day, my first question was, why is this one so much lower? Because when it seems too good to be true, it usually is. They compared apples to apples, went through all of the specs. One of the things that the other companies kind of padded was knowing that the CBDG grant requires a lot of paperwork. And so they padded in some administration fees to kind of cover that. This company is not done a CDBG grant, but they've done some other federal grants with Manhattan and Salina, I think, was one of their other references. And so we felt like they were very comparable, apples to apples. And B&G has worked with them on other projects, and they checked all their references. And actually the CDBG grant says as long as it's apples to apples, you have to go with the lowest bid. So that led us to the point of being able to put in cement pad, because we don't want to give back the $150,000 that's the difference of the two companies. So what that leaves for you all to decide is, A, you have to officially give the bid or the contract to that contractor, and then you would have to pass something. I don't know how you word it, but obviously B&G is going to have to draw up the sidewalk and the grading for sidewalk and dirt work and all of that. So we would have to get another plan. Luckily, most of the surveys were done for the entire park, so we don't have to get many of those done again. But we would have to have a drawing of the cement path.
Does it have to be a cement path? I just heard a lot of people say that they like it being the dirt or the gravel.
The cement path is going to be a lot less.
Cement would be better.
It's going to be smoother. There's a lot of dips in the track if you walked it now. The cement will make it more curvy on the corners instead of straight turns.
Rain is eating on parts.
I've just heard a lot of people say they like it, so I was just asking.
I've heard a lot of people say they would rather have the pavement like an oval brick. It's smooth, it's easier. I think it would be less maintenance to constantly have to put the gravel stuff back, and it should be easier to mow next to it, etc.
It's hard to run on it.
Yeah.
Question.
Okay, I
And
think I'm ready.
if you've already noticed, today I'm having trouble with names. Jeremiah, right?
Jared.
Jared.
Yeah,
See?
that's pretty close. I've answered it worse.
At one of our previous meetings, we were talking about the park and monies and all that, and I thought that we had to, what was specified in the grant was what we had to go with.
Correct.
The playground, the pad, the parking lot. That was it.
You're talking about the newspaper article.
I don't, it was a meeting, we were in here. And I asked the question, and that was what I was told. So, and, you know, we had to spend money here, we had to spend money here, we had to spend money here. We couldn't do like the multi-purpose pad, we couldn't add the extra concrete on the side because it wasn't in the initial plan. You know, like if we wanted to.
With the change order would correct that though, right?
Yeah.
The
There's a
change-
square footage for the pad. It had to stay within that square footage.
It had to stay within that, but,
Correct. The line item for the sidewalk is already in the project.
oh, it is.
Because we have sidewalks going into the toddler area. And the line item for equipment
But
is
that's
already.
the sidewalk in the toddler area, not the sidewalk for
it
Well,
is-
the.
then
it's
we
in
have
the
the
line.
sidewalk to the multi-purpose pad.
Well-
So in the original application, we put all of that in there.
Oh,
Remember, and then we didn't get the Jones, so then we cut out the cement walking path because we didn't have the money in the Jones, from the Jones. We had hoped to get
I think we were
125,
looking for 130 and ended up with 75. If I
right,
remember
so that's why we cut that cement walking trail. But in our original grant application, it was in there because we put our whole wish list in there.
Right. So the PER, if you'll allow me a minute to revisit the process, we started with
a preliminary engineering report where we started with the wish list and we sketched it out. We looked at how it might work. We put initial cost estimates to it. Compared that to what came through with the Jones grant funding, everything else. It came up with what we recommended. There were multiple options in the PER. Kind of do a little bit, do a medium amount, do a lot, look at the pricing. And then what the grant was awarded on was based on that middle option, which is where we were at with the playground, the multi-use pad, and the sidewalks that are associated with those, and the gravel parking lot at the north end. Those were the pieces that were in that middle area. When we went to construction documents after the grant was awarded and put this together, as a part of that, we've got unit pricing for things like concrete sidewalks, for installation of playground equipment, things like that. Because these were initially contemplated in the PER, and because they are related, and because we have unit pricing for it, we don't have to go out for a new round of competitive bidding if you want to add these things, because we've already gotten that unit pricing. So because of that, the actual equipment, for example, the exercise equipment, will have to get the pricing on, because that we weren't pricing exercise equipment installation, the labor rates, and the concrete is already in there. The other thing that we'll have to do, but like Heather said, is that we need to satisfy CDBG requirements. We need to have engineering drawings for those. So, for example, the half-mile loop, the gravel path that's out there now, it's already laid out. But we need to go back and check the survey. We need to draw it up, and we need to look at where the drainage is. It seems ridiculous to say if you walked out there, but we have to check and make sure that it meets all the ADA slopes. It's dead flat out there, but we have to cross those T's and dot those I's for CDBG. For the 8th mile loop extension to the south, that one's one that has been initially laid out on paper by the park committee previously, but is not currently constructed. So that'll need to be documented, and that'll be blazing new ground for that. But what we have, like I said, because of the low bid from Garabay Construction, we have the opportunity, and when we look at the unit pricing, it should come in right where we're below what the estimate was now. So basically, we're able to add those things back in because of the favorable bids that we got, and be right where the initial estimate, where the grant application funding was. So without adding any additional cost to the city beyond what the city had already committed to contributing as a part of the overall mix, you'll be able to get a lot more because of the favorable bids. But what it takes to do that is to engage VG Consultants for an additional, I forgot where we were at, $18,000 in engineering and survey work to get those additional drawings put together to satisfy the CDBG requirements for the engineering side of it. And then the additional approximately $200,000 worth of construction, or a little less than $200,000 worth of construction, which we've not asked them to put together yet, because the first step that we need to do, and this is what Heather had alluded to when she started, is that the first thing we have to do is award the project to Garabay, if that's the will of the council. Once that award is in place and we execute contracts with them, then we can have them prepare change order pricing, get the final numbers, and get that change order approved as well. We have to do things in that order. We can't start negotiating with them before the project's awarded because of the CDBG requirements. We have to finish one process before we start another. So I've said a lot, and I don't know if I've answered all these questions, so let me stop there before I finish the answer.
Would awarding the Garabay project, if we awarded it to Garabay and we had the extra money and we went forward with the path, the concrete and the exercise equipment, would that be would the path, concrete and exercise equipment be one thing, or would it be two? And I ask that because definitely the concrete I think is important. The exercise equipment we can add later if need be, but if we did that, would that still leave monies for incidentals or change orders?
Contingency thing.
Yeah.
If the costs are where we think they should be, we would be very close to what the initial estimate was, so there would not be very much contingency left. So if it's the council's wish, once we have them engaged, we can ask them to break up that change order pricing to say, here's how much it would be to do all of the concrete paving. here's how much it would be to add similar lights to what are planned around the half-mile path to around that additional length. Here's what it would be for the exercise equipment. We can get that pricing separately, and you can make a decision about how close you want to get to that line now versus how much you want to hold in some contingency just in case.
Did we buy just lights for
We have lights for the walking path.
Just the north area.
just the north? I couldn't remember if we added the 4 or 5 for the south one too. No.
So yes, you do certainly have that option to ask that pricing to be in pieces so that you can make that evaluation.
So the initial thing we've got to do then is award to the lowest bidder.
Yes. Correct. So if you permit me, and if Tom would agree to the form, I think the motion that you would be looking to have, if that's what you want to do, would be to award the project to Garabay Site Works Company LLC in the amount of $428,391.69.
There's no tax on that.
No.
Okay.
No. And to authorize the mayor and the clerk to execute the paperwork necessary for all the contract execution.
That's correct.
Is that right?
That's the motion.
Would that be two?
No, it's one
Or
motion.
just all one?
Tom and I have done this before.
I move we award the bid from Garabay Site Works Company LLC, the amount of $428,391.69 for the park work and for the mayor and city clerk to file what necessary paperwork.
Second.
Motion been made by Ron and second by Chad. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? All in favor, motion carried.
And then, like I said, if the council wanted to consider adding that additional scope back in and best utilizing all of the available grant funding that you've previously been awarded, then the next action would be to, and Emily said that the supplemental agreement that we provided did not get in their packet. Is that?
I sent it out in an email
Okay.
and I didn't know that they couldn't open it. No one
I
said
think it was
anything.
less than $10,000 that was left over from the additional cost. I looked at it, but it,
Was it a document that looked like this, supplemental agreement?
it had money on it.
This has money on the backside. But you may have been looking at a recommendation letter that went.
Oh, that might be
That
it.
one that looked like that, perhaps?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, and we actually sent an updated version of that this afternoon because we noticed an error that we had in our math on that. So, yeah, based on these numbers, what would be left, like you said, would be less than 10,000. It's about 5,000.
I saw that on there.
Yeah.
That's cutting pretty close.
And well, to the point of maybe wanting to keep some back for contingency and asking the contractors to split up their change order pricing. But in order for us to get that change order pricing accurately, DG is going to have to draw up those. And so our next action, if you want to move forward with that, would be to approve supplemental agreement number 1 to the contract that you already have with BG Consultants for the design and construction administration of this project. And that scope of work would be to provide additional surveying, civil engineering and electrical engineering for the paving of the existing half-mile loop and the addition of the 8th mile loop extension with the exercise equipment around the half-mile loop along with the concrete paving. And then the 8th mile loop having the new work for the sidewalk, and then also the lighting design to extend along that. And the cost of those engineering services is $18,000.
And that would come from where?
Out of the project funding as well. And that letter that you're talking about included, when it was looking at what the costs were being added, looked at both the additional design fees and the additional construction costs.
Would the second part change the estimated start date that they have on that first part?
I'm not anticipating so. They can go ahead and start on that work. It's possible to extend the backing when they finish the work, depending on what they do currently.
Try not to push out and delay any further. It's
No,
nice
we
to
would
see
not,
a date.
we would not expect there to be any change, in the start date.
So real quick, I just wanna say, B&G, I don't know if you guys remember how all this works, but they put this scope of prices together last July. And they were right on the money, like we are very fortunate that they were right on the money as far as the bids. The other two bids that were more comparable were right on the money of the $650 that we had thought it would be. There are some other communities in our area that didn't have B&G, and they their bids came in insanely different than what the projection was. So they're cutting a lot of the things out of their city parks and some of their other grant opportunity things. So just a little pat on the back to B&G because they hit it on the money for what was essentially a year in advance. And we all know how much prices have changed this last year, so
Thank you.
we did really good.
So what you're looking for is $18,000 of additional engineering supplemental in your supplemental agreement to do the additional surveying engineering to pursue the change orders to fully utilize the available grant.
Well, yes.
Okay.
I mean, we approved the additional services by B&G. What were the words that you used?
What Tom said.
In the amount of 18,000.
In the amount of 18,000.
To do the additional surveying and engineering to pursue the change orders to fully utilize the grant.
Second.
Motion made by Holly and second by Chad. Any further discussion? All those in favor? All those opposed? All in favor? Motion carried.
So we will get to work post haste getting the contracts put together so that those can get executed with Garabay. And we'll also start to work immediately on the engineering to get the additional drawings done so that as soon as those are done, they can get the change order pricing completed. And we'll be coming back to you with the actual change order pricing to execute that change order once it's ready to go.
Cool.
A pre-construction conference very soon. That as well. Yeah.
Thank you guys for your
Thank
hard
you.
work. All of you.
So I got one more question.
Oh, please.
I'm just curious, in breaking those down, doing the half-mile path with an option of adding the 8-mile path and lighting, and then so there'd be a 3-part.
We can structure that, however the park committee or the council wants to see it broken down. I think those are logical divisions. Like I said, the sidewalks themselves should be relatively easy because we already have the unit pricing on those. So they'll need to officially calculate it, measure it out and calculate out how they're bidding it, but there's not a lot of mystery there. Yeah, dividing those up and then, thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. And then the exercise equipment and then the lighting are pretty easy things to divide out logically as well.
My other concern is we purchased lighting for the path,
For the north, yeah.
for the north path. I guess, can we provide you with where we purchased it and?
We already have that.
You already have
We
that?
did. yeah.
Okay, I thought so, but
We do, and
that'll
we'll work
keep
with the
it-
committee to make sure that matches.
keep it consistent.
Yes,
Okay,
absolutely.
thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Any other
Thanks.
part questions? All right.
Are we done yet?
September.
We'll get there. Thank you all very much. Thank you. Thank you. Have a good day.
All right, on to the next matter, parking on Main Street.
Okay, thank you. The lines on Main Street need to be repainted, and the question was brought up whether to paint them how they are now or how they are technically supposed to be. Previous council made an exception to allow more parking on Main Street. And so we just need guidance from the council on whether to keep the parking on Main Street how it is. Doing so would take away 4 parking spots across from City Hall due to the residential house, and then basically it would match City Hall's side And so we just need guidance on how you want them repainted.
I actually had a question on section 85. B, the 20 feet, which bullet point or number is that regarding?
Okay, yeah.
Cause I gotta follow up on that one with this side of the street, because we have a stop sign and a crosswalk here too. But yeah, we have handicap outside, and then we've got all those spots right there. So we're not 20 feet from a crosswalk over here or over there.
Do you know if ours needs changed on the side?
And then,
I don't know if it's a crosswalk is technically a thing to worry about, it's 30 feet from the intersection, is the bigger one.
Well, hold on a second. Are you talking about this 20 feet Holly?
yeah,
That from the residential driveway?
yeah,
So let's answer Holly's question real quick, unless that was in line with Holly's question.
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought you said.
She wanted to know
85G.
which bullet that is being referenced from, like where that's.
I'm guessing it's under B, because it doesn't fit under number, A5. And it says 20 feet, not 30.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm just curious, which,
Some of the issues with these spots here is the fact that there's not the drainage plan that we have. There's a big ditch right in front, so they gotta stick out 2 or 3 feet when there's a truck parked there into the, that's why it's never been parking there before. Plus, you have a driveway right here, well, that's supposed to be 15 feet from any driveway, either side.
where does it say that at?
In the
In your ordinance.
MUTD streets.
This
So-
page is from the standard.
So we have
Yeah,
to
that's
follow
nice,
the Kansas regulations and then we can go stricter on them. But we can't loosen up on Kansas regulations. So keep that in mind. We have technically been varying stuff. But I'm gonna paint them however you guys want me to paint them, so. I just need to know how. If you want crosshatch like this side, because we have people parking in the neighbor's driveway and blocking it, going into here and stuff. So it's basically just trying to make it cut and dry and no questions for everybody.
She said it's 15 feet from the driveway, but it says 20 feet. I'm just trying to understand genuinely.
Welcome to my world. Because these change state to state too.
Yeah.
It's town to town, so. I can tell you there didn't used to be parking on the side. That's parking now. There's 2 spots that were allowed, but then there's people who keep parking 5 deep instead of 2 deep. So it's like we give an inch or take a mile kind of thing. So either we need to just get comfortable with how it's gonna be, or we need to paint it so it's obvious, I guess.
And you said it's by ordinance. Is this the ordinance?
This is the Uniform Traffic Offense Code that's been adopted by the city.
Okay.
So yes, this is your traffic ordinance.
Okay.
And it's 15 feet from a fire hydrant,
Mhm.
20 feet from a crosswalk, 30 feet from any flashing signal, stop sign or yield sign,
Okay.
and then 20 feet of a driveway.
A driveway entrance to any fire station.
It really doesn't say anything about a private drive or a business drive,
Right.
It does not,
but there's gotta be some kind of a
but
standard.
yeah, I'm gonna say if,
So would you say, Bud, what's the Kansas, this is
Yeah,
the Kansas standard?
this is based upon what the state law is.
Okay.
Yeah, this is the book that we approve for the police department to get every year.
I got you.
I completely understand the crosswalk. Because when a pedestrian enters the crosswalk, if there's a vehicle parked right next to the crosswalk, they may not be able to see somebody coming down. I get that one. But the 20 feet from a driveway, I don't know.
You have to allow them the same visibility as you allow. They also have to have clearance if they're pulling a trailer or something like that to be able to pull in.
I know we had a complaint recently from someone backing out of the residence over that they can't see.
Did, on the building across the street, okay, where Ashton's office currently is for the mechanic shop, that used to be a garage door, right? Didn't they have a garage door there?
I have no
Yes.
idea.
Used to be.
What was on the corner? What was from the corner west? Was that ever no parking there?
That's why they stick out at the
Pretty much, it's always been no parking, but it's never.
I know, I absolutely hate pulling out onto Main Street from there. It was like a week or so ago, I brought it up to Ashton and he moved it, but they had a black truck with a camper shell on it parked out there. And I was literally in the intersection to look around it west so I can turn onto Main Street. And then they moved it from there to the handicap spot, which is another problem
And the
because
sidewalk.
on the sidewalk. So they moved, the mechanics moved it from there into the handicap spot just because it had a handicap placard, but they're not handicapped to move it over there. It's not, so yeah, that's one thing, but. And I know we've talked about that quarter many, many times. You can't see around it.
What you got,
Yes.
Shannon?
I have in the STO is under 85
Yep.
and 1. It says in front of public or private driveway.
But it's not technically in front of it, it's beside it.
But is that actually a parking spot there?
Stand or park a vehicle where whether occupied or not, except momentarily pick up discharge passengers in front of public or private driveway. So the problem was that we did have people that were parking in front of it. She was unable to get out of it because of the angle that the person was at.
Currently, there's only 2 spots there.
In front of that, in that fenced area here?
No, in
Or-
front of the building.
Oh, in front of the building. But they always get like 4 or 5 cars there somehow.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, the lines are painted for 2 spots, and then there's no lines painted. So they'll just pull up next to it. If we wanna allow them to keep doing that, I'll paint the lines in there so they can be in a spot. But if you don't, I need to cross hatch it or whatever. The whole parking area was variances given to him by previous councils. And to give them workarounds to have some parking. Well, there's been complaints and I've been asked enough about it that it's time for you guys to make me paint it some way.
So are most of the complaints coming from the stop sign? Cause I can definitely see
The
that.
one that he just explained was the most recent complaint that I've had.
And what was the one that you explained?
Well,
But they
the truck
parked in
being,
blocks
yeah,
with the
the
big
most
truck.
recent was the truck, but I talked to him more than once about parking stuff there, I couldn't see around it.
Right.
He has a vocal neighbor.
He has a vocal neighbor, he does.
She's complained a few times.
They have vehicles dropped off frequently. Last week, there was a car parked literally in the sidewalk almost, but it was sticking, the ass end of it was sticking out into the road, into the northbound lane on the east side of the road there, backwards.
Yeah.
That'd probably be a tow truck driver.
It would be, but I know it's sat there for a few days without being moved. And Ashton and his crew saw that, I'm sure.
So theoretically, if we take his whole front parking spaces away from him, are we gonna allow him more parking spaces on the side?
The only way to allow more parking space on the side is if he actually extends the area, because parking on an angle, they stick out too far. And he was giving them a year or something to
That's what I thought.
make that
but it was,
happen and never really made it happen.
Yeah, he was gonna do all the gravel work and all that to take away all the grass and dirt area. And we gave him
A year, I think.
Well, we were over a year.
Yeah,
And he still had never done it and was parking in the grass. So that's when we finally went back to the parallel.
There's grass on that east side?
It
I thought it
used
was
to
just
be.
a curve.
It might be dead by now.
So what kind of solution you think we can come up with?
Personally, I would say we need to paint no parking like we got on this side, at least on part of that. Because we've got to be able to, we have the same, people coming out of the clinic, driving up the alley. How many times have we had an actual accident there on the alley?
That's because that needs to be a one-way.
That's an
That alley-
option, but
that
even
alley needs to
then,
be a one-way.
but people just can't see because of the cars that are parked there.
I pulled up the alley
Yeah.
coming from the.
And we get
clinic,
the same,
And you have to pull halfway in the
Yeah.
intersection before you can see what's coming.
yeah, and that's the same problem we have here on this corner.
Yes.
Half of it's already
So-
one-way. Half of that alley was already one-way.
The alley is not.
Yeah, the alleys,
None of the alley is one.
The alley is
Oh,
not,
is it?
no,
It's a one-way leaving the clinic.
leaving the
But
clinic
it
going
is,
out, but
once
not.
you're in the alley,
but I think if we make part, at least half of in front of his building, no parking, that would allow people to be able to see west
so
coming
you're,
out of there.
you're saying there's 2 parking spots legally.
No.
There
Mark.
is not.
Mark
I'm not
spots.
saying there's 2 parking spots to code. No, there is not 2 parking spots to code.
There is not.
I thought you said there was
They
two
were a
mark spots.
variance so that he could have the 2 spots. Because you measured 30 feet from the intersection, well, most of it's building. No, but that's not saying that when we get this drainage fixed,
Mhm.
maybe you push the cars to the west. So you make that sight line clear and then have a couple of spots further down. That may alleviate some of the issues. But then you have the driveway thing, which that is what it is. He owns that house.
No, not yet. I don't think he's bought it yet.
Either way.
But I mean, I get
We
that he
get him a
needs to
couple,
have.
but the ones right in front of that deep ditch, that's kind of a safety hazard.
Do we have plans to fix that?
We have not put them into motion, but I've got prices for pipes and fittings and everything to make it drainage so that there's nothing daylighting, so it just goes underground and goes away.
Do we need to involve the county since this is a county road?
Nope, because I'm not touching their 24 feet.
Okay. I know he's got to at least have some parking right in front because the customer's coming in and out, but then the other question or follow-up question to parking on Main Street, which includes him as well as this side of the street, he parks his cars on Main Street. The customer cars, and they sit out there for days. I thought at one point, and Chad and Ron, you were calling on, did we not have a specify that they had to have the vehicles off the street by end of business day?
Technically, that's off subject though, guys. We're talking about parking, not about.
Well, no, I'm talking about parking on
Yeah,
Main
we're not
Street.
talking about the length of parking, we're just talking about parking.
No, in general, that's one of the questions.
Yeah.
It's one of the
Yeah,
biggest complaints
it's over
that we
here.
get.
It's on here.
It's on the
That's what
sheet
this
here.
whole thing is about.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
Right
I'm
now,
not
we're
digging
talking
on
about
it. I'm
spaces.
just trying to,
Right now, we were talking about spaces for parking. I don't care how long he parks them there. What are we gonna do about the spaces and what we are having him define as parking? That is the subject right now. We can go after that and then talk about how long he can park there.
Okay.
But at least let's figure out one situation first before we go to the next
Okay.
one.
I move we table this, parking subject until, I think I heard the city attorney say something about reviewing something, I'm not sure.
That's another topic, but
Oh, my fault.
so I would prefer that whatever you do is in conformance with your STO, your standard traffic ordinance. That's all I suggest.
Dustin, can you get us measurements?
I will.
Okay.
And I will also measure this site because we may need to change ours.
So we'll go, no action on that.
Yeah, so,
Table
yeah,
till
like,
next meeting.
measure, it, going, before we close this, going back to the, what is that road, this side, Proctor?
Third Street.
Third Street, do we need to do anything with parking on either side of that? Because if we're gonna do it on Main Street, we need to look at that one too.
I'll measure from the alley and make sure that I didn't do a variance there too. And that's,
Have a good night, Tom.
you know what I mean? Some of this stuff was finagled so that you could fit that 1 extra spot kind of scenario. So I'll make sure that I get the legit spots.
Yeah, I just, said if we're gonna do the measurements on Main, we need to do it on Third too. Just so we're all the way around.
And if you
I'll
can,
survey it all. I'll survey it all, just to make sure it's all right.
Please.
if you can, I'd like to see that drainage maybe too.
Alright, now the next subject on matter is hour limits on parking.
To answer the question that you asked.
No.
What I recall is at the time we were having an issue with vehicles that were not legal.
Yeah.
And we do still have some out there that are not tagged
So
or.
They weren't tagged or they were out of date or
As long as they're tagged and the registration's up to date, then they can park on the street.
If they are not tagged at all, there's not a license plate on them, should they be out on the street, period? No, okay.
well, I was gonna say, that's your police department's decision there.
It's in the STO. It's in the STO that you can.
Do, if they say, well, it's a dealer car,
They're supposed to have dealer tags
Yeah,
on.
if there's a dealer tag on
It's
it.
on a public roadway.
Yeah, it has to have some kind of legal tag.
Now, there's also something that says it's supposed to be operational too.
no, yeah.
So how many of those vehicles sitting in parking spots out here are not operational? Cause I see them push them into the lot often. I get it's a mechanic's garage, but now, also given some time to get down the road, my understanding, if he gets this house purchased, he will be demoing that house for a parking lot. This statement he made to me some time back. But that's not gonna be a cheap thing to do.
I think that's a couple of years down the road.
So the question I had, what's in the ordinance for cars sitting on Main Street? Like parked 12 hours, 24 hours, there's no signs posted. What is?
It would
is there?
have to be something that the city council decided as far as how long you want them there, and then we would need to post the signs.
I got you.
And it would need to be a new
ordinance.
ordinance, because at this time, it is all public parking. And there's not a limit on, there's no time frame.
Okay. So that answers the question.
Because would that affect the renters on Main Street
It would,
for parking their cars?
it would, because we don't know whose car's whose.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
because
mean, the
apartment
only
down
way
here-
around the
The apartments, and
park
then there's a house up above Main Street Bargains that
Yeah,
has a
yeah.
renter.
the only way around tenants is if we erect a sign for tenant parking. But apparently they also have parking out back?
Yeah.
Up there?
The apartments next to us do, with the one on the above Main Street Bargains, there's an empty lot out back, but it's grass. I don't.
Oh.
They could park back there, but it's not parking now.
Yeah, but if there's anybody that's got a physical impairment, they, they're not, they don't have a walkable going upstairs, and they have to go all the way back down to the car wash, around front and
There's stairs out front and
out front, not out back.
There's stairs out there. I don't think they're operational.
No, not to get upstairs.
Get to their
Yeah.
apartment.
We had an emergency that we had to go upstairs and there was only one staircase going up those.
There's a metal staircase out back.
Yeah, there's a fire escape out back.
It's
You
a
wanna-
fire
Oh, the fire escape, yeah. We don't want people going up and down that.
No.
But it's not illegal like it's steep.
Oh,
So
yeah.
do we move forward drafting an ordinance for time limit and post signs? I don't think we can get away with putting a tenant parking, because then you're classifying one parking spot not to be public parking. It isn't on Main Street, so it's supposed to be all public parking.
I mean, yeah, I don't know how to get.
I don't know what,
Yeah, I don't
how to go
get
about
around
doing
that,
that.
so.
I
Why-
can ask Tom about that one.
Why do we need time limits? I mean, has there been like a broke down car with flat tires just hanging out for an extended period of time on Main Street?
Well, the black truck sit on in the handicap spot over here for a week.
We've had complaints about the cars in front of the Elm Building from down home because the older people that go to the Elm Building and have their activities there like to have their parking, and so there's not been anything to be done about it. But they have complained.
I mean, I don't wanna take, don't wanna make life hard for Ashton and his customers and stuff, but I mean, he's got a lot of cars, and a lot of those cars are sitting on Main Street. So. And then, yes, there are people that, work along Main Street that park there, I mean. Well, I don't think we can make anything done.
Chat with Tom and see what can be done. Okay.
You want him to draft an ordinance for you guys to look at next time? And decide then?
We'd have to give him numbers.
What if you did past a certain time frame, past 10 p.m., past 8 p.m., I mean, whatever you want to
Then
call
no
it,
overnight.
just no overnight parking. That alleviates the issue for your workers that park on Main Street during the day. You technically, and check with Tom, you could issue stickers for approved parking on Main Street for the tenants. Like you issue stickers for the ATVs and UTVs.
Would there be additional fees?
That would be up to you guys to decide if you want to be paid for it.
I don't think we'd charge for it.
No, I mean,
It would just be a clearly marked vehicle.
it's just to provide something for the enforcement to know if that vehicle belongs there or not.
For like overnight,
Yeah,
Yeah.
gotcha. Makes sense.
Main Street opens at 5 a.m. and it closes at 10 p.m. I mean, there's cities that have these ordinances in place.
I think downtown Topeka enforces that.
You guys want something like that put in a draft for an ordinance?
I mean, if we did, I'd go longer hours, like 5 to 11. Something like that.
Okay. Everyone else?
Yeah.
I'm against it.
5 to 11 for
Parking on
5 a.m. to 11 p.m.
5 a.m. to.
So from 11 p.m. to 5 a.m.
Unless appropriately permitted.
My daughter had dropped her car off over there in the evening because she was at school, dropped it off at 4 o'clock, and then kept it overnight, worked on it the next day, and it was done. So,
It's just one of those.
I mean, we have a
I don't
business
know.
on Main Street that does mechanic work. I mean, they're gonna have cars.
And
parked
see,
there.
that would be an instance where if his parking actually on Third Street that we gave him, that we allowed him to have was open, customers dropping vehicles off, could park on Third Street there and have it there.
From what I was told, there's only enough room for short cars,
He's got he parks trucks and all that over there.
but he parks them long ways because there's not enough space.
Yeah, we
or
don't,
whatever.
we tried the angle parking and it ate too much of the street space.
Well, he didn't fulfill his end
Yeah.
of the agreement.
So we're making any action on putting anything in an ordinance, if not, I'm moving on.
I want more information.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll table it. Okay, library?
I'm just doing my quarterly report. We're gearing up for summer reading. Unfortunately, our donations from businesses are not coming in as much as they have in the past, so we may have to make a few changes. My only concerns will be, obviously, the park will be under construction when I want to do touch a truck and the petting zoo, so my backup plan is the old football fields, which I'll get permission from the schools to have it down there. Or the ball field.
In that little meadow next to the, we had actually out of there.
Yeah, the only thing is the petting zoo needs some shade for the animals, so we would probably have to do the football field, cause that would be where we might have some shade. But anyway, we still have some time to figure that out. So, summer reading program, we just finished, Library Giving Day, which was very successful. Summer reading is going, and we have a big book sale this weekend, and I don't know, I think that's it for us, unless you guys have any questions for me.
Anything for library?
We got 2 big tents if you need some shade for the animals.
I was just gonna say that.
There's an option,
He's trying
Okay.
to talk his kids.
or at least another idea.
You really wanna set those tents up, don't you? Okay, that's a great.
He was wrong.
If it opens up to where you guys have more room to do something.
Thank you, Heather.
That's great, I will keep that in mind.
Permit for Osage Waste.
This is just his, he comes in every 2 years and gets a 2-year permit to haul trash and snow. And there's no changes in fees or anything this year, right?
What's that?
There's no changes in the fees or anything this year, right?
Yeah. They're coming before the council to ask for an increase. I think that's the first thing we need to do. And then my contract comes up July 1st, and see if I can get approved from the council to extend it another 2 years from July 1st to 26th to July 1st to 28.
What's your current rate
The current rate is $16,
and proposed?
and I'm supposed to go to the $17.50, which is like 38 cents a week. And with the way the things are going now with the fuel and everything, and I got the last raise.
Is the proposed rate something that we approve?
2 years ago, we, bumped it up, I think, 50 cents.
No, I mean, but do we have to approve that, or we just put it into place? Because that's,
What we have to approve is contract.
You have to approve it, then it'll go automatically effect, and then you guys put it on.
And then I think we get 50 cents, so trash would go up to that $18.
Yeah.
so we go $18. Okay. I make a motion, we approve the permit for Osage Waste, extending for 2 years through July 1st, 2028.
Motion made by Kevin, second by Barb. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Alright.
All those opposed? All in favor? Motion carried.
I make a motion, we approve the rate increase from $16 to $17.50
Motion,
plus city fees.
motion made by Kevin, second by Barb. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? All in favor? Motion carried. Is there something for me to sign on that?
No.
Okay, 'cause I see my signature on that other one.
Then there, I need to make a motion on the contract.
That was the
That was the
first
first
one.
one.
Yeah,
Oh,
you're
that's
good.
the first one?
Yeah.
Yep, we extended you.
We call it a permit.
Okay, you call it permanent?
Yeah.
All right, then I'll leave one here for, or you can sign it now. if you want.
So this is just current.
Yeah.
Okay, there's yours. I'm gonna give this copy to Emily.
Yeah. All right, yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Joe.
Mhm.
Okay, hang on just a second. I will give you this.
Will you give me some money? I'll wait for it.
I thought you would.
Did you need another signature or just a?
Oh,
We'll wait for money.
got it hard.
Alright, I'm gonna move on, Emily.
Yep.
Lions Club, Farmers Market.
Do you want to put me at the, towards the bottom, I'm here for the duration, so if you wanna do the IT and fish feeder stuff
As long
in
as
front of me,
council's
is that?
okay with that?
Okay.
Okay, council's okay with that, IT services?
We did get quotes in from 3 different vendors. Imagine IT, which is out of, I believe, Paola, Iowa. NCS, which is out of Topeka, and Century United, which is out of Topeka and Iowa, right? Century United is here this evening. The 3 different quotes kind of range in pricing. NCS, Donnie, was the Century, was that a contract, multi-year contract, or is that just by year?
Our contracts are year by year.
Okay, so Century United is year by year. NCS is a 3-year commitment, and I did not notice if Imagine was a multi-year.
I'm not so sure that Andrew had discussed that. He wanted to make the meeting, but unfortunately he's traveling right now. He said if possible, he committed to doing the next meeting, but I had some questions, with the Century one. Is this quote gonna need to be redone? Because I see that the date on it is March 19th, and it says the quote pricing expires in 5 days. Is this gonna need to be redone?
No, it's still fine.
Okay.
And there's final paperwork beyond just this. Like today, for instance, you would acknowledge the statement of work document, which is for upfront projects, but there would be an additional contract for the monthly bill. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Okay.
And then there was 2 different, there's of course the one with the totals on it, and then there's a faxing and printing. So is that one in addition to?
That's something completely different. So we have quotes for IT management as well as print management.
Okay.
The print management, we currently have printing through Logan. However, we own, I found out, I didn't realize it, but we own the printers that we currently have. We just have contracts through Logan for supplies on that, so.
We called to see how long our contract was on the printers and we bought them out.
Okay.
So we may not change on the printers just because of that.
And then does Century do any municipality stuff, or are you just mainly businesses?
Both.
Okay, because I looked you up and I didn't see any municipal references on your website.
So like City of Silver Lake would be an example. So, but there's plenty of either county governments or city governments that we manage IT for.
State contracts. I can go into a little more detail. I know you said on the printer thing, if you're done with your stuff, I was just gonna walk around with something real quick for you guys. I had Emily and I had talked, the main thing, I had 2 points I was gonna hit on tonight. The first one was based on the printers, copiers. I know you guys are changing everything up as far as with POTS lines in the next few years going away. Your plain old telephone lines are all going away. You're seeing the cost of those go up substantially if you are to keep them. The AT&T, a lot of the big carriers, the goal is to have them gone by 2029. There won't be anything else. So a couple of the things we're looking at is something we discussed as we looked at the copiers. We looked at, you own those ones right now, you're getting some service on those. The only thing is those are about 4.5, almost 5-year-old machines. And there won't be any guarantees or contracts on maintenance, usually between year 5 or 6. One thing that I pulled up, and as far as POTS capability too, that's gonna be another thing as we go into eFax. There's a couple different solutions I know we had looked at, but I have.
Yeah, currently we have 2 POTS lines. The city phones and such are internet phones.
No, that's okay.
Okay, and I've got 3. And I will tell you a couple of different things on this is I ran, from what I got from Emily, I ran your numbers on what you're currently paying for service, technical on those copies, even though you own them, you're paying, with that plus overages. We were looking at mostly for the police department, some of the ends, you're paying $214.98 a month right now. And that's just the best guess estimate. The only part that I wasn't 100% sure was your overages. I just went by your lowest overages each month after looking at some of the invoices, and it was about 523, 532, something like that. So that being said, that threw in for 12 months. I just calculated and it came out to 6384. Calculated it with all their other bases based on their invoices that I have here for Logan. And I have two bids in there. One is for essentially what you have now, just the newer machines. Everything's more capable, everything as far as your software is in tune for what's coming. And your payment on those, you'd be looking a month, it'd be around 181. And that covers service and that covers lease. The other one is for a larger machine, the one on the right is for a larger machine. And that is something we discussed about too, just for the city hall, and it just has more capabilities. If that's something you feel like you might need. I know there were some other capabilities we discussed about. And then that one would be about 231. So two different options really to look at and see is, again, you bought the machines. A lot of the businesses are going away, even a lot of the state stuff now is going away from purchasing with the liability, with the change of technology. Everything else has been changing, and so those are kind of the two options I put together. And went beyond to our guys in Iowa. We usually get pretty competitive, especially on the state stuff. We have the state contracts. I was actually able to negotiate this morning, 7 o'clock this morning, but was able to negotiate with the guy in Iowa and get that down even further. So again, for what you're paying right now for your service, you have your service, your lease, 2 brand new machines that are capable for all the stuff you're gonna do, whether that be the eFax, any of the print scan, any of the other workflow management you guys may be looking at in the next few years. I know that's a big thing that's kind of coming around too, so. What questions do you have for me?
So you said that 181 and 231, those are the investment options for the faxing printing, not the
Those are the-
170?
Those are the. So the 179 is your lease maintenance. And then all the other ones gonna be your service. So you have your 231, that's the one you're looking at, the 179. So that's on this side. So you're looking at that. And then you have your other investment. And I was able to break them up too, as far as on the sides. That's one thing that Emily had requested, is that we could break those up. So you'd be looking at your sites here for your police in your city.
Right.
So your total would be the 23160, that would be for all. And that's
What's our
option
current?
2.
Mhm.
Option 1, the one we looked at would be the 181. Yeah, or 182, sorry. And that would be the all. And I did include on here what services, what split services means. It's for an extra $10 per machine. That covers 2 different things. Again, Logan may not put this in just because you guys bought the machine, so it doesn't matter. But 2 different things that they cover are help desk every month. So that's what this is only for the help desk. Usually it's $25 a fee. On Logan, right now you're paying $25 a month. And we also would be the hard drive wipe fee. So after the 5-year contract, all the stuff, the hard drive, everything is wiped. That's usually a $300 service. And that's just, you have to pay at the time. It's just spreads it out over 60 months.
We currently have trouble with Logan servicing our machines. It can take days to weeks. We've been without our printer before. And they say they're gonna come down and they don't, or they come down and then they don't bring the things they need to fix it, and then we're out for another week or 2, and that's all we have to operate on.
Yeah, the gentleman, Andrew, imagine, he didn't have any printer stuff in his packet, so I messaged him and he said that that's something that they do offer as well.
Is, I was talking. Yeah, I stopped.
But then with NCS, is that gentleman here as well?
No.
Oh, okay.
Well, the NCS one, he's just talking printing.
Yeah, I'm just on the printing side of it. Bonnie can answer all your
Because
questions.
NCS didn't do printing, and I didn't see Imagine doing printing when I talked to Andrew.
Right, no, like I said, he didn't include it in his packet, but I went ahead and messaged him, because maybe that's something he missed. And he said that is a service that they do provide.
The one quote, we've got a quote that says is this per printer?
No, that's overall.
So if we have two printers,
Yeah, so
This is the cost for both
This
machines.
would be the two printer one.
So they're both two printer ones.
Oh, they are?
Let me explain the difference. Sorry, the difference you have right now, you have the two smaller printers, they can't do 11x17s. They're called A4s, and just the industry name for them, and that's what we have. And that's what you have right now.
what did we print these off of?
That's the one we use. We have to have that size for our bill cards.
No, but it's 11x17. Where'd you print that from?
That's the one that's in our closet in our office.
Are you talking about the tray? Or
What's that?
did you use did you manually feed those in?
Or do you have?
No,
you have a tray?
tray 3 only does that size. On the one
So you
that's in
have
the.
As far as the other ones, yeah, the bigger one you'd be looking at would be the A3. Those are the ones that have your higher end capabilities. So that's the difference. The one that's the higher price one, the 231, 251, or whatever you want to call it. That is just a larger printer that has a finisher, that has it where we talked about like the collating and splitting up the job capacity. That's what that one would do. That is something we've talked about. And the other one is exactly what you have now, essentially same size, just newer models, more capabilities. That's your main difference. The cost on those are well for two copiers, just the ones, those two are the same, and the other one is the ones, the regular size one like you have in here, and the other two are just a larger size.
That was like the sorting and stapling and
Yes,
stuff,
it
right?
does the sorting and the stapling, that's
So
correct.
with both of those, either one of those quotes, we get two prints.
Yes.
I thought it was one.
Yeah, sorry. I just did the two quotes just to give you the option, because that's something we had discussed as well, so. What other questions you have?
On the printing?
On the flip side, yeah. You take over.
We can, on the printers would have scanning function capability, they would have, is that internet faxing capable or is it, okay.
That's another reason it's looking at these, that they are.
So they would be TCP/IP, eFax and all that, okay.
And I have an option for eFax. The gentleman that wants to come here tonight talks about that for the city of Oregon. So I do have literature I can leave on that for you guys to look at. It's called eFax. It's a pretty fun program. And then any other questions, if you guys, if that's something that interests in, I could have him come out to your next session.
I think if the printer had the function. Okay.
The printer can print all the stuff out. You just would have to have the service that actually does like the internet faxing.
So that's something to keep.
And I've included that in there as well. So.
Donnie?
Sure.
So I had a question, I meant it, I knew you were coming, so I didn't bother to send you, I'm just gonna ask it here. On the, like the Google migration, to go from Google back to Microsoft, and, based on the information that was sent over on, obviously not a lot of data side, theirs is gonna be bigger, and I think maybe a couple of the police officers will be big accounts. Do you foresee that being a long process at all?
No, and typically, I mean, I think in terms of the budget, it's roughly a week's worth of hours. But it would be something that would happen, it would coincide with onboarding. And that can be done in stages, right? So we can migrate a lot of the data and then have a cutover date that's planned to cut over from Google to Microsoft. That will definitely be notifying you in advance so that you can plan for some downtime.
The one thing that we did discuss, and I mean, I talked to all three companies about this was, and Donnie laid it out even more. Currently, we play with our Google, we have just standard accounts, they're enterprise. And that's the only option they had to do it. By us switching to a provider, we have, that would give us the opportunity to, for like the city council, who we don't technically need Google Docs, we don't technically need a lot of the stuff that Google has. Our email accounts would be like $4, right?
Right.
And those that have larger accounts that need more stuff, it would be standard accounts. So we say that adjusts our pricing there. Also, the things that would change would be currently we have yearly subscription with Microsoft with just a limited amount of applications. By switching to a service managed provider and changing the Microsoft licensing, that gives us more features on those pricing. So I know we mentioned it, but SharePoint, would that be one of the things that?
So SharePoint would be available, and it's based on your business standard users. I believe that your credential with, I think it's 8 business standard users, which equates to 8 terabytes of SharePoint storage. I know that there were some use cases mentioned where transmitting city council documents is very difficult right now. You could have a SharePoint repository set up so that you could just share a link to the folder, so it's a lot easier to access. It also enables you to develop some processes for the city to kind of keep handles on that data moving forward, so you have some data storage rules based around them too.
Could we also utilize OneDrive?
Yes, so OneDrive should be used on a personal level, but SharePoint should be used organizationally, right? So OneDrive is great for getting things off your desktop so that there's always a cloud backup of them. Whereas SharePoint is more for things that you want to set up data access rules to, where you only want certain people accessing things like the council documents and things like that would be great for SharePoint. The personal stuff that you work on day to day is great for OneDrive.
All 3 bids did include backup management, and that is specified for the servers, as well as we could add local PCs, but if we're utilizing OneDrive, that would alleviate that. Also, we have roaming profiles within the organization. So by doing that, their actual documents, unless they specify otherwise, are going to the server anyways. But the backups are there.
And that's something where we kind of, I know that there's a lot of things happening, there's a lot of moving parts around your backups.
Yeah.
That's one component of this that we would expect to change, and is a fairly significant line item within your invoicing, that will roll back once you come up with some better strategies surrounding backups.
Let's see, endpoint protection was another one that all 3 had, and that would get us with antivirus and such like that, which we do have multiple versions and expiration dates. So that would unify that. Help desk support is offered by all.
Can I interrupt for just a second?
Go ahead.
So I don't know what their help desk looks like. Our help desk is unlimited on-site support and unlimited remote support, all included within that monthly total. The city's given a dedicated account manager who you deal with day to day, a dedicated technical account manager who is doing all the day-to-day IT work, and then a team of technicians underneath that technical account manager. So you're dealing with the same people over and over again, not whoever's first available on call, basically. So it's a better service relationship, and it's unlimited.
I think Imagine IT has something similar. And to your point with the backups, on that Imagine IT on page 12, the server backups, it's pending a review. That's $600 a month. Andrew did say that that's the most. He doesn't foresee it being that much, but he would need to do a discovery to know exactly how much that is and to actually get a realistic bid on that particular item.
Yeah. Let's see. There was also, I think we discussed a yearly training on threat assessment, wasn't it?
So the employee training is included, yeah.
Yeah. And that is, I think we've talked before once about training and doing a yearly training, and this would be about security awareness and preventing data breaches and that kind of stuff. So,
and the services that we include with things like sample phishing emails that get sent out, so you can test to make sure the training's working correctly, all that kind of stuff as well.
And you can, all three quotes do show equipment that we need to upgrade to get proper support for, like our firewall. We're only using one firewall because we're all in this building here. That one did go to end of life for support January. So we would be looking at upgrading that on all three quotes, I believe, had that listed. Let's see, there is an onboarding, which would be, for getting their software installed and all that stuff. And all three quotes have that. So when you look at the different quotes, they do range drastically. NCS was, like I said, requires a 3-year contract, totaling roughly $150K for 3 years. Imagine was on page, and granted the backups would adjust slightly. What page was that on?
This one.
Which one?
12.
Is it 24? Okay. Oh, yeah. So page 2412, there's two numbers on there, but bottom right corner is page 12. Oh, slide 20. So the monthly on that one would be $26.60 with a one-time of $57. The Century is $17.73 a month, and
do they include your Microsoft licensing and those other quotes as well?
They do.
What, for American IT? It does.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just making sure.
Yeah, they all three of them do. Like you and I discussed, that's kind of a requirement by all of them. But like I say, our annual subscription would be on all three of these eliminated. They would be rolled into this. The Google licensing or Google email that we pay for would also be gone away, so that lowers that cost. So
I'm honestly curious what the council would think about tabling this until at least the next meeting. I understand that it's been held the last year and a half. But I'd really like Andrew to get a chance to do some kind of discovery so he can get an actual bid put together and appear before us.
I'm not sure. What do you mean by discovery?
Well, did you do some kind of discovery?
8 to 10 months ago, we came on site now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same information that was given to NCS and then as well as Century was given when I talked to Andrew. We went through, we talked about the number of PCs we have, the number of servers we have,
So what does the rest of the council think about? Because Andrew had said something about that he didn't remember getting talked to about printers and such. I don't know. I am curious what the rest of the council thinks about giving Imagine IT a chance to get a more accurate bid put together.
I know from working at the city office, Century's touched base with us a lot. They've been really easy to work with. And I know in the office, that's who we would choose. Our customer service has been great.
Does everyone feel? Maybe there's no motions made then.
Yeah, I mean,
We'll table it. No actions made.
good, but we need to, we definitely need to make this top priority.
I don't, to me, I don't have eggs in the basket, so to speak, for any of the three companies. I do know that pricing wise, there's a big difference. And for the services that are offered by all three of them, which are apples to apples, we're getting the same services across the board. Printing aside,
Unless I get action on it, then I can't move forward. I'm gonna have to table it.
Would we be able to make a motion in order for Andrew, or would we need to make a motion in
I
order for
wouldn't
Andrew to
think
do
so.
that?
I
No,
would
just
just
a
think
motion
this-
if someone wants to choose one.
Yeah, I would only need a motion to move forward with one of these companies. If we get no motion, then it just gets tabled.
So would Andrew be able to come and make some kind of a discovery?
Yes. As long as there's no motions on these, which I'm getting to the point that there is none, so I'm gonna move on. No action made.
What were you gonna say? I'm, like I said, pricing wise, I think we need to move with Century United just because of pricing.
And I would
It
really
is very
encourage-
well, I mean, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead, Ollie.
It's okay. I would really encourage the council to look up the companies and research the companies and see what you're getting for the price. And I'm not saying anything negative about anybody else. I'm just saying do our due diligence
Well,
and do some contemplation.
Well, like I said-
I will say that working in IT,
If you wanna move forward.
I'm
just
gonna make a motion that
that
we move forward with Century United.
Okay, so I got a motion by Kevin. Is there a second?
Second. I.
Second by Ron, so we'll put it up for vote. All in favor? All opposed?
Aye.
So I got 4 in favor and 1 opposed. Motion carried.
We'll be in contact. Or do you have something?
Yeah, who needs to sign something just to acknowledge?
Anthony.
Acknowledge. Just at the bottom of this page, and who should I send all future stuff to? Just at the bottom.
Emily over there.
It'll go through,
If there's one additional contract, though, who would sign that?
I can,
You
it
can
goes
send
through
it
there.
through to us and we
Or
can sign it or.
I can also, they have a stamp that I can give them approval.
Is that just on, to be clear, is that the IT, is that the printer, just so you know, is everything included?
No, it's just the IT.
Just the IT.
Yeah. Wanna, do you have a card?
Yeah.
Thank
I've
you.
got them all on there too, so if that's something you guys wanna research.
Yeah.
Okay, and I can send, I've got some information I can send.
Yeah, please.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Thanks, Tony.
And then, move on to zoning. I know that Dylan's not here, but Mr. Gordon,
Yeah, I'm okay with helping out, but I just wanna make sure that you guys understand that I do not wanna be going out chasing down zoning infractions. So if it ever comes to that, then I'm gonna bow out. But if you guys need help with Dylan, I've talked to him a couple of times since the last meeting. He says he needs help, he's, doesn't have as much free time as he used to. I'm helping out with checking for people who put permits in, but I'm not looking to be the guy that's driving around seeing how tall grass is and checking license plates and.
That's all, you're good there, you're good.
Yeah, you're fine. I just don't wanna do that, so I see to know what you guys need to do from there.
I guess what's the next step for that? That would.
You guys just make a motion to bring them onto the zoning committee?
To a point.
Or, yeah,
To
to
a
a point.
point. Okay.
What was your full name?
Philip. Lowell, Lowell. Gordon, Gordon. The cops have all my information, they know me.
Perfect.
Philip Gordon.
Yes.
Right.
I move we appoint Philip Gordon to the zoning commission.
Motion made by Ron, second by Barb. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? All in favor? Motion carried. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I'll stop and see you
Yeah,
this
that'll
week.
work. Thank you.
Looks like we got some reimbursement forms, quite a few.
I have all of the receipts if you need to see them, but everything's on those
Okay.
forms.
Otherwise, we'll just start at the top here. I got Dustin's up for Wichita Water Conference. Excuse me, in the amount of $295.95. Any questions on his reimbursement?
Do we need to do them individually?
Yep.
I make a motion, we approve Dustin Brett Snyder's reimbursement request.
Second.
You gonna give an amount?
For $295.95.
Alright, motion made by Kevin, you still second, Barb seconds, any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? All in favor, motion carried. Next will be John, for the water conference as well, and the amount of $71.77 for meals.
I move we approve the reimbursement request for John Clark, the amount of $71.77.
Second.
Motion made by Ron, second by Kevin, any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? All in favor, motion carried. The next one I have is for Joshua Smith. From what I have the understanding here, he needed a couple extra parts, wasn't able to charge to the account. Does look like they did not put sales tax on there. But he did pay out of pocket for those two parts.
Make a motion, we approve the reimbursement request for Josh Smith for $27.48.
Motion made by Kevin, second by Barb. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? All in favor, motion carried. Next one is gonna be from our Schultz. Let's see, food parking, meals / food parking. For the ILETA, is that how you say it? ILETA conference for $540.45.
I move we approve the reimbursement request from Mariah Schultz for the Alita conference at a total of $540.45.
Motion made by Ron, second by Barb. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? All in favor, motion carried. Next, Ashley Madden for the OJA Municipal Clerks Conference. Looks like miles, mills, and a K-tag expense for $243.19.
I move we approve the reimbursement request for Ashton Madden for the OJA Municipal Clerks Conference for the total of $243.19.
Motion made by Ron, second by Barb. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? All in favor, motion carried. That is the end of reimbursements. So we'll move on to Dustin maintenance.
A quick recap, we're still working on the way, we're making good progress. Machine is still in the shop, but getting close. Last I knew.
Which machine?
The brand new skid loader. One got stuck. One got stuck. Yes, yes. I was gonna ask you about that. As far as I know, the spool, which is what makes the hydraulics fluid go different directions, something broke inside there and wedged in, so it wouldn't move at all. So they came and picked it up and hauled it up and gave us a loaner.
And they said it wasn't Dustin's fault.
It
this
wasn't.
time.
Are we sure?
I said, tell me how I did it, so I can not do it again, but it's getting taken care of and it shouldn't be too much longer.
You got a rental, or at least you got a loaner, so you're good.
And the dump truck got a new alternator in it because it was dying. That was only $225, so we're put leave with that. Guys are doing pretty good. And we started mowing. Bathrooms are unlocked, all that good stuff, so. I'm gonna have to get about 100 foot of 15-inch culvert pipe, but most of it's already spoken for. So just letting you guys know, we got some culverts going in, different customers and such, but. It's going good. Not chipping away at everything.
Nice. So anybody got anything for Dustin? Is that all you had, Dustin? You got?
That's all I got. I can bring, I'll let you know when the equipment gets back on.
For sure, for sure.
On the lighting at the park,
Yeah.
what all has been done?
We have holes in the ground.
Okay.
That's basically it. Holes are in the ground, but in the shop, we do have all of the sonotube cut. We have all of the reinforcement welded together, and probably a third to maybe half of the bolts fastened to those. So we're getting all those steps done so that when it comes time, we just have to trench everything, get that in, and then call a truck and pour concrete. But basically, we're just getting everything in a row so that it goes smoothly.
Don't forget the conduit.
The conduit, yeah. That's what we're trenching in, yes, sir.
Why, you gotta run it up through
Oh, yeah.
your tubes.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, don't forget that when you drop them in.
Yeah. But
I mean, we
chipping
run
away
it
at
down.
it, still pretty good.
For
We get
sure.
off and on good weather.
Yeah.
So that's
Anything
all I
else
got for you.
for Dustin?
He updates at the lake.
We're gonna ask around to see if anybody else wants to do it. He's busy and busy, so
We scheduled a date, he wasn't able to make it.
We're done waiting, we're gonna look, move on.
that's not saying
It's
anybody else is gonna want it.
Correct.
But we're gonna look around and see if somebody else wants to move it. Even our new machines aren't big enough to move that. It's
I figure we'd probably be able to still find something maybe kind of local that's got big equipment, you know, I know there's a couple here in town, there's a couple carbon.
Tables right down the road here is one that should be called, maybe Tanner Black should be called. I don't know what equipment Tanner has big wise, but we can get some local guys involved in it.
Even if it goes back to having a bid to tear it out, redo it.
If it's the
If
same.
it comes to tear down, redo it, we could probably just do it. I don't know about the tear out part, but we could redo it. But ideally, we get it moved down, that's hopeful.
If it's for the same amount of money or less, do we need to bring back these other options to you, or if it's the same amount of money or less, get it done?
You said get it done?
I say get it
I say get it
done.
done, I agree.
We've already approved it. I mean,
Right, I'd say throw it on the mayor, he can
Yeah.
review it and make a decision. If
So,
it's,
I
if
think
it's
I
a
pretty well heard it,
substantial amount more than,
of course.
yeah, I mean,
Well, if it's more in general.
Yeah.
let's come back to that.
For sure.
It does work, I used it today and yesterday. It's wonky, but it works.
Thank you, Dustin.
Cool.
but we've not heard anything back at all about the extension for it and all that.
We tabled that to do this first.
Oh, okay.
And then call if
It's been a
if we
while.
decided we wanted to add it afterwards, after we moved the lock.
Okay.
So it's still on the table kind of.
You might hang out for just a second.
Okay.
Fish feeder,
It's about time to start feeding the fish again. Tyler does it. Last year we put bids out. He was the only one that submitted a bid. And he's done it several years. We did call for fish food today to get that delivered, and they don't provide the sinking fish food. If we did, we'd have to order it by the tons, and it was like 7 tons was the minimum, so it'll only be the floating fish food this year.
And I don't think it'd last in that shed.
There's a lot
If you
of
bought
fish
the
food.
bulk, cause by the pallets that you guys get, the mice already get to just the bottom in the few weeks it sits there.
How many bags did we buy?
We start off with 60 and then we use the supplement with about that or 40. So
It's 6
anywhere
bags.
from 80 to 100.
6 bags a week. I don't know off the top of my head how many weeks.
So you put 3 bags in each feeder?
How long does that usually last?
A week. Yeah, and I've made, like 4 or 5 years ago, I was in contact with the state people that feed all the state lakes, and they helped me do all the math of like how big the lake is and all the studies they've done on the lake, and so I got good information on like how much weight I should be dropping. So, every year I go out there with a bucket and a scale, and I just calibrate the feeder to that. So it's not, I'm just not just
I don't.
throwing it out there, yeah.
I don't know anything about fish feeders, so.
And I have like all the live sonar so I can watch the fish. Like I'll wait a few weeks and actually see if the fish are coming, and you know, if it's all just float, I can watch it just fall. If it's falling all the bottom, I normally just cut it off for a few or lower it for a few weeks, and so I'm just not out there just throwing the bag in every day.
Yeah.
I don't want it to go to waste.
Is it by ordinance or code that it has to be up for bid every year? Or is it?
No, he's more of a contractor, so even like our forestry dump and our bathroom cleaners, things like that.
I got you. So virtually we would just be looking at renewing a contract
As
with
long,
them?
yeah, cause he said he was okay with, the same amount of pay.
Now, if you're on vacation or sick, who goes out there and does it?
I normally have a buddy use my boat and I can do it. If anybody will do it, or
Well, I asked because last year we had somebody in that said there was a few times he was out there and there was no food coming out. So, and I think you were on vacation.
and that could be a storm came, if they get clogged out. Like I go out there like a couple times a week and just unclog them.
Okay.
Like just the humidity, like they're basically deer feeders that float on top of water, and that food just absorbs all that water. So,
But we're not
rain's
buying,
heavy.
what is it we bought before, sinking or not?
It's all just like dog food. It just expands, and it will just clog that feeder up.
Are they the little pellets
Mm-hmm.
like they do at the trout farms?
It's
You feed the trout?
basically pig feed is what the floating or the sinking was. But the floating is nicer where you can, like, it just stays on top of the water, and I feel like it gets ate more than just falling straight to the bottom. Like, I don't know what it does under the bottom, but if you're out there and you watch it, the feeder go off, you can almost see almost all the food gets ate.
You basically, you can tell that there's minimal waste.
Yeah, with the top, yeah.
When do we start feeding?
It's from,
Normally like the 18th.
yeah, Memorial Day
Like a
to
couple
Labor
weeks
Day.
Before Memorial and a couple weeks after.
Yeah, Memorial to Labor.
Cause it normally takes a few weeks for the fish to get used to hearing it, and so they can come up to it. So that way during that weekend, those people can go out there and utilize it.
Council want to move to,
It's $200 a week and $13 an hour for maintenance.
move to renew his contract for another year or?
Say it again, Em?
$200 a week and $13 an hour for maintenance.
Do we have totals of what we paid out last year?
Down at the bottom.
So this is it.
Mm-hmm. It was $3,000, $3,124 for the food, and then Tyler's pay.
Okay. I just didn't know what fish feeder made meant.
He's the feeder.
He's the feeder.
Made the, he
So
built
we
the
paid
feeder?
We paid the contractor.
Yep.
$4,000. And that was maintenance and everything.
Yeah, all included.
Anyone wanna make any action?
See how it goes this year.
I move to renew the fish feeder contract for Tyler Beckman.
The same rate as last year.
Second.
Motion made by Ron, second by Kevin. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? All in favor? Motion carried. I think that's
all we got on fish feeders, right? Alright.
Alright, thank you guys.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
Good evening.
Hello.
So, we did go to our sub tax training and, well, we've got the instrument. And so we're able to show the new officers also how to do that.
What was that called?
SOTOXA, so TOXA. It's for roadside testing of drugs, much like our PDT, which is roadside, in alcohol apparently. So we did that, the guys are coming along, doing well, getting lots of experience. So I have in front of you guys, you should have auto motion and then carbon dioxide automatic. I requested Briggs, I did not get it in, so this is what we have, and that is with the engine, that's what's added. So worst case scenario, that's the price.
It's a little better pricing on a long block than I was expecting.
So I talked to Shannon a little bit earlier. I did call my brother and talk to him kind of about the Durango and the problems and was it a good idea to spend the upfront nearly $3,000 for just look at a motor? His opinion was if there was coolant in the oil, replace the motor. Because the coolant washes the oil out of the bearings. Once the oil's out of the bearings, they're gonna be warped. So he said even with it still running, being shut off quickly, all that, probably gonna need a motor. And then I never heard back from him. He was gonna ask some more questions, but I never heard back. And like Shannon and I were talking, we put a motor in, we got a vehicle that if we want it, we could go another 100,000 miles. I mean, I know we do more hours on those than mileage, but right now what's available is Durangos and Chargers, and KHP is moving away from their contract with Dodge.
Do you know if there's any warranty? The engine has 18-month, 100,000 from Carbondale Tire and Auto. Did this one have? Am I just missing it? Or, 'cause I'm sure they all come with one. I just didn't know if they were apples to apples on the warranty. I didn't see one on them.
Yeah, see one on the motion. So both of these, Tire and Auto and then Auto Motion, are just going ahead and replacing the engine.
That's what those are for.
Yep.
My understanding though is that they would test it in the middle and find out if it was in fact one.
This is the worst case scenario, the maximum you would.
Yes.
So if we took them in, they would run through the diagnostic anyway. And what if they found that
They would
it
fix
was
it to
blown?
that point.
Yeah, yeah, and then if they found that it was blown, they would just go ahead and finish it out. But if it's not blown, then they stop at the fix.
Yes.
to me, we spent over 40,000 on the thing. If we spend 3,000 to get it checked out, or even if we spent 10 grand or 11 grand to replace it, we're still ahead because then we're not having to buy a new vehicle. And like Anthony said, if we went in and just did an engine for 11 grand, we already own the vehicle.
Chad said that, I think.
Oh,
I'll give Chad credit this
yeah. We already own the vehicle, so if we put 12 in it, we got get up to, another 100,000 miles up out of it, or 50, 60.
Yeah.
And the flip side, we could go buy a new Durango again, because that's what's available.
Yeah, it's still gonna want
And,
that's gonna
and
be
end up
50
with the
grand.
same problem, because this is a common problem in the Durangos.
Well, I say it's not doing us any good sitting there. It'd be better if it's on the road.
Agreed.
Do it.
I see, yes, please.
So. Somebody feel we make an action?
Got a preference?
I'd probably go with tire auto. Myself.
Is that where it's at now?
That's where it's at now. It's $200 to get it to Topeka, and it's what, $1,300 more.
If it's already there.
Did he give you a time frame?
They start working on it immediately as soon as we have the do so.
Did they say how long? Either one of them?
No, I didn't ask for length of time. I just know both of them were ready to get started on it.
I'll make a motion to to approve Carbondale Tire and Auto to repair it and or replace the motor in the 21 Durango for $11,194.11.
Motion made by Chad, second by Barb. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed?
Aye.
4 in favor, 1 opposed. Motion carried. Shannon? I got one other thing for you.
Yes, sir.
Before you leave me. It was brought to my attention. You've reached your 10-year. So we want to present this to you. It was supposed to be a surprise, guys, sorry. So,
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I
I
appreciate
didn't
it.
hand it
Wow.
diploma style, but
Oh, well, no, this is fantastic. Thank you so much.
you gotta buy your own frame though.
Yeah.
Well, that's quite all right. I did not expect this, but thank you so much. I
Well,
appreciate it.
Thank you.
Been honored to serve the community, so thank you so much.
Congrats.
I know. It's hard to surprise me. Thank you.
Prorating utility bills.
We contacted Jayhawk, they walked us through how to do it, we tried it with a couple, it works great, and so that 2 people can share the same premise, so we can bill by the customer rather than premise.
Okay.
So it works great if you guys are good with that.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, yeah. As long as everything in the office is good. I got no problem with it.
Sounds like it needs a solution to an issue.
Yeah.
So if we can just get a motion to bill by account rather than, or bill by premise rather than account.
Okay.
I move we change the billing to by premise, moving away from by account.
Motion made by Ron,
Second.
second by Kevin. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? All in favor? Motion carried. Denali. It's just, I should ask. Lions Club does still want to wait till the end?
Whenever. I mean, I'm here, so.
I understand.
Shannon, we had your report in there, did you?
Did you want that? Oh, I'm sorry, I thought she said something about it
Oh,
being.
mine?
Huh?
I just wanted everybody to have that in their
Okay.
information.
I just wanna make sure I was flipping through.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Denali?
No.
Do what?
That's it. I didn't see it in my packet. I was looking for it.
You don't mind?
Huh?
You don't mind?
What is it?
It's, CPA software.
Oh,
It's to replace
CPA.
QuickBooks.
So it's a replacement for QuickBooks. So QuickBooks is very difficult. We have 3 different QuickBooks. One of them is the online version. The other 2 are the desktop versions. You can't do any, you have to sign out of one to log into the other. You can't, in the FYI folder, there's a report that Michael made, that's kind of where we're at on budget this year. It took him almost 2 full days to compile all of that. This new program will do that automatically. We put our budget in and it tells us right where we're at. Denali works with, they're part of Jayhawk, which is our utility billing program. And then we have letters of recommendations from the accountants, that we work with that highly recommends it as well.
The big thing will be that instead of having a payroll database, a city database for water and weight and all that stuff, and then rec committee or rec, once that comes in, it'll all be under one.
Is that, when I was in there the other day, and he was showing me all the icons on his desktop, that's what he's talking about. And he would eliminate all that into one.
So it'll be $10,000 to $15,000 for the accountant to transfer everything from QuickBooks over to Denali. And then you'll have your, Denali fee as well. So Denali is the 5,850. So we would need both of those.
Is that for a year?
The accountant's gonna be the transfer and then the Denali is.
That, the 5,850 would be for a year?
It is,
For that month?
1,800 a year.
the
Oh, no,
annual,
that's the hours.
the annual's right under it and it's the 1,800.
Oh, I get you. Oh, okay.
It'd be both the 2,250 though and the 1,800 together, wouldn't it? Because those up there are subscriptions. Or am I reading that wrong?
So tonight we would need the approval for the accountant, the NYP CPA up to 15,000, and then we need the advantage, the 5,850.
And then after that,
Right, I'm talking about the annual fee, like
Oh,
every
gotcha.
year.
yeah, then like after that, each year after that, would he get the subscription?
Would it be that 2,250 plus the 1,800 for the annual fee? Subscriptions plus the annual.
Or is that just you have to, is it a one-time subscription fee?
I'm not 100% sure, but I would almost guess that it's both.
You're not gonna have the training, and I don't know if you're gonna need the training every year. That'll be the initial, so you gotta learn it.
We can probably drop it down.
Yeah.
The trainings for anything that we call them for, if they have to fix anything through their side or show us how to do something.
I would be interested to know if it's required through Advantage for 18 or 16 hours at $1,800, or if we just, because you might not need 16 hours.
If you did a motion not to exceed, we can ask them about it and drop it down if we can.
And Michael was gonna look and make sure we're good on numbers.
Yes, and all of that was good.
And CPA timing,
They could start right away. I'm getting things moved over.
And who would the account, would that be through Gordon?
So Nike would do all of the moving of it. Gordon is our accountant that does reviews our budget and everything every year.
Okay, so who is the company then?
The
that's doing the move?
NYP CPA,
Oh, NYPC.
yeah, Nike.
And then Advantage.
I believe that the 1,800, the one is just the first time, and then after that, it's annually 1,800, but like I said, I can check to see if we can get less than the 16 hours, but we do use,
Well-
the service hours,
And it does say training day,
yeah,
so I would assume
it's the
that would be
initial.
like the initial, once they get it set up, running you guys through how to utilize it, all the ins and outs of it. So I wouldn't, again, I'm just making an assumption, that won't be a yearly thing, but the annual support contract obviously will be.
No, maybe, I mean,
I would just say.
yeah, I mean.
That is it, because if they have problems, that's what that.
Well, the first year I could see that,
No, I
definitely,
mean-
because we got a huge learning curve.
I mean,
Well, it also says,
like in general, just in case the software has, if they have problems with the software, that's what,
Mhm.
that was the support contract would be.
Right, and that's why I was wondering if maybe they have.
They would use 60 hours.
The training, this is what you're gonna say, Chad, did you read that?
the training says training hours purchased must be used within 6 months of install.
Yeah.
So it's just a one-time training?
Yeah, so that would be the one time, just because it's
You
a
get-
brand new system
So
for
I'm
them.
assuming if you don't use 16 hours, you just lose it.
Yeah,
You're
use
out.
it or lose it.
Yeah.
And then the second part, I'll check to see if we can do less than 16, but,
Well, I mean, if you need them, you need them, if you don't, you
We
don't,
do use-
if
like
we
Jayhawk,
don't
we
use
do
them, do
use
they
them
roll
first.
over?
no.
Then,
You get to use it
yeah,
or lose it. But with regular Jayhawk, we do use their support. They're very helpful.
right,
And they can remote into the computer and do it all.
but the NYP, because they haven't actually been in the database and moving around, they don't know if it's gonna be 10, 12, or 15.
Yeah, and with it being different accounts and all of that. So if you're for it, I think we would need two separate motions, one for the NYP and one for the Advantage Jayhawk.
On their sheet, services will be rendered at 162 an hour. So they're just ballparking it, saying, oh, we're probably gonna have this many hours, which will be this much, right?
Right.
Okay. And what is our current subscription cost for QuickBooks? I know it's not cheap.
We're
Oh, it's on the
paying-
back page.
Yeah, the 2,519 a year, and that's just for the
Yeah.
city, one. That's not the rec one.
Right, so
We have
but
other
$2,000, so it's gonna be a wash on that, so then we're only paying for the hours, really, difference wise. Okay. I make a motion, we approve not to exceed 15, prefer less, to NYP CPA for assistance in migrating the accounts from QuickBooks into Denali.
Motion made by Kevin, seconded by Ron. Any further discussion?
Is that part of this or?
The NYP is the other one for switching it
Right,
to
but-
this, but this would be following it.
But it would follow up to it, so what about the Jayhawk data backup at $576 annual fee plus a one-time equipment setup fee of $1,600? Is that included?
Where is that one?
On the Advantage
Fine
page.
print and additional options available, not included in quote. Is that something that we need or?
We could actually, because Denali is gonna be on the server itself, right? It's a server-based software.
Yeah, it's the same that we have
Okay.
now.
Because
through
it's on the
JDOC.
server, that would actually go with the the server backup software through Century. They would back it up. The box that he's talking about is a little black box that we have currently that backs up our Jayhawk software.
Okay.
Okay, so is
So-
that what that is?
That
little
yeah, the outside
additional
backup.
options
Yeah.
available?
Okay.
Okay, so that's not, okay.
Yeah, because we'll have that opportunity to perform those backups.
And
Just
then,
to,
will this price change since it says prices are firm until the 27th of February?
We're good on the pricing we talked on.
so Kevin made the motion and then Ron second, that discussion, any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? All in favor, motion carried.
I make a motion, we approve the Advantage Computer Jayhawk software for the support contract, subscription cost in the initial amount, $5,850, not to exceed $5,850.
Motion made by Kevin, second by Ron. Any further discussion?
I'm still unclear about the subscriptions. Are the subscriptions under subtotal header 1, are those annual subscriptions?
They should be,
Okay.
yes.
So the annual fee actually is $4,000 or $4,050, right? Not just
Ye-
$2,250,
Yeah.
but plus the $1,800, so it's not a wash with the $2,519.
Well, I guess what I was saying on the wash would have been the 2250 is kind of a wash from what we currently pay for the QuickBooks, but then we're adding on at next year when we renew, we'll have the support contract would be the add of the 1,800 for next year. So you know what I mean?
Right, so we wouldn't have that 1,800 this year?
No, we have it this year.
It'll
We'll
be
have
next
it.
year.
This year we'll have it because they're gonna have the training, but then they're gonna have a lot of follow-up questions. So this year, but they may not need 16 hours next year. And that's where I was asking her, find out if we have to have the 16 or if we can do less and then pay per incident or see how it goes. But that number, that 16 hours at $1,800 may very well change. I mean, they're gonna need some, but they may not need 16 because Denali is intuitive and it's used quite frequently. So I mean, it's the desired replacement for QuickBooks. It's a lot more user friendly from what I was reading.
Yeah, I will say on here, I did like how it's built for municipalities and not for businesses.
Yeah, QuickBooks is one of those things that's always been a business one and it's been there forever and it's.
Is there any further discussion before I can close out the motion? Kevin motion.
Ron second.
Ron second. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? All in favor? Motion carried.
Tell Michael they ask. Call on him.
Thank you, we appreciate it.
Franchise fee for Kansas Gas.
It's time for a renewal with Kansas Gas. They went ahead and they've already done the public notice and everything, and then the first one that you have there is what our current franchise ordinance is with them. And then following it, there's two options. The option number 1 includes a transport gas and a transportation customer. So right now, the school does not pay a franchise fee. And option 2 is what we option 1 is adding the franchise fee to the school. Option 2 is leaving it how it is.
I don't think we charge the school,
No.
in my opinion. I mean, they are school.
And it would be option 2 then, and it'd be ordinance 555.
Oh, option, I got 3 pages here. And you said ordinance what?
555.
Tom looked this over?
He did.
So do we need to, would we do anything with this?
No.
Okay. Yeah, option one, head to school.
And that leaves it at the 3%.
But it's not, Hazard has, you said public, Hazard has not, this has, or has not.
That's what it is now. It's just the time to renew it. Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, the option 2 is what we have currently.
Okay.
So do we need any action on that then?
We do need to adopt ordinance number 555, which would be option 2.
Okay. I make a motion, we approve option number 2 for ordinance number 555.
Adopt.
Adopt, what did I say?
You said approve.
Oh, adopt ordinance number 555 for the franchise ordinance.
Motion made by Kevin, second by Barb. Any further discussion?
For
Oh, for
Kansas
Kansas
Gas.
Gas.
For Kansas Gas here.
the division of gas.
Any further discussion? All those in favor? All those opposed? All in favor, motion carried.
So much stuff.
Osage County Fair Award sponsorship.
It looks like what I found was last time we did it in 2022, and we did $40. And then there's a bunch of different options of what you could sponsor.
We didn't do it last year? Or we haven't done it last 2 years?
Not that I found. I recommend we do the Grand Champion Market Hog for $50. It's under market animal.
We did something like this
Right here.
not long ago.
Yeah, it was similar, but I don't know that it was the
We
exact
choose one that we
same
wanna
thing.
sponsor. No, that's beef. Market animals, beef, hog, oh, there, hog, food. Is that just because you have a hog?
Yeah.
Good, then I move we, put the sponsorship for the Grand Champion Market Hog at price $50 for the 2026 Overbrook Osage County Fair Award sponsorship.
Second.
Motion made by Ron, seconded by Kevin. Any further discussion?
Yeah, how do we know that that hasn't already been sponsored?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I wondered that myself, and I didn't know if they did multiple for each one.
Because we've done this in the past
We can-
and we just give them $50 and they put it where they need it. I think that's how it worked last time we did this. And it's been since 22.
So if it's taken, we can tell them just to put the money on it.
I think that's kind of how they do it. Is
That's fine.
like you pick a dollar amount and then
We sponsor the dogs and then only if they win with a husky.
Okay. Any further discussion? All those in favor? All those opposed? All in favor? Motion carried. Food trucks.
Tom is gonna review the agreement, and then, Chad had mentioned that he thought there was something in ordinance that we couldn't do it on private property, so I guess we need to check into that. The library has turned the food trucks back over to the city. They're no longer doing that. So we have met with Jeremiah Johnson, the little building up there across from the grocery store, and hosting the food trucks up there. And so this is just a release of liability. Tom's gonna go over it, and he said he'd get back with us to approve it or make any changes before we sign and have Jeremiah do it. So we've been working with Colleen with the county. She's going to purchase banners for the city. We're redoing the ones on Main Street. She's gonna get a carbon no welcome sign for the building up there. She's gonna try to do lighting up there and maybe get some picnic tables for people to stay and eat.
Nice. So this right now is just informational until Tom fully reviews?
He said he can review it after the fact if so, or if you guys take no motion on it, we can do it later. The time is approaching to get them started pretty quick. May 1st is the first, so if we could hold off.
Have you talked to food truck people?
Yes. And it sounds like we've had a high response, and so we're just gonna put the calendar out and I'll sign up. We've talked with several different ones. It sounds like 3 of them max at a time. Some of them said 4, but we won't duplicate like a Mexican food truck and a barbecue food truck and a dessert. It'll be all different things.
How many usually sit at, have you ever seen the ones at the Humane Shelter in Topeka? Is it 3 or 4 usually there? Is it? I mean, they got quite a few trucks there. That's cool. Okay.
So, if we just consensus to do it from the council and then, we can look into that ordinance some more and have Tom review this closer.
Let's say we put it in Tom's court.
Okay.
Have him review everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good. Paul?
Yeah.
I agree with you guys, so.
I didn't say anything.
Okay.
I mean, I would just ask this of why we have city park with benches and all the stuff there.
Yeah.
Nice covered pavilion.
So the reason is, the development up there is in the process. The property is being sold and the developer's purchasing it. And it's to get people used to the idea of food being there. For community development.
Traffic.
We'll see what Tom
Well,
says.
that intersection would be a terrible place for traffic. People trying, you already got the 4-ways or the intersection, then you get people coming in and out.
No, just people to see it. Want people to see it there, but they wouldn't city park.
Well, visibility, yes, but
Yeah.
if it's advertised correctly.
Well, the Girl Scouts are always there. They were just there a couple months back selling Girl Scout cookies, so.
There'll be inner signs on one side, it'll loop through, and the parking's on the one side, and then,
So,
on the Topeka Boulevard side, those will not be exits. It'll
so,
just-
but, so if you put picnic tables in between the trucks and the buildings, and people are supposed to drive through there to get out?
No.
No.
I think
How's
it's supposed to
that?
go through here.
Yeah,
Enter.
you drive, enter and exit.
They come back down where they'll come and go on the same side.
Oh, right here.
Great. So they come up and they park up here, how they.
If they park behind the building there, how are they gonna get around it now?
They turn around and go back down the way they came.
Okay.
So, I guess it is kind of wide there, I don't know.
We'll see what comes with it next meeting.
Figure it out.
Lions Club.
Lions Club. So, it's time for, farmer's market again. We've had people reach out, vendors, to ask if we're having it again. I guess it would be up to the council, knowing that the construction is gonna be going on at the park. if you want it to be moved, how you want that to be handled. We want to pause that for a year until everything is done. We just need to know.
Did you see
So
this?
vendors that- Yeah, actually, I had printed off 10 of them and then Chad said, is this the thing you want? So.
Can we do it further down by the dog park? That way it's further down from the construction, maybe?
There's not really any tables over there that you can set up.
Yeah, they just, because there's so few, they've just been going underneath the pavilion. I don't think that they,
Plus, don't they also use the Wi-Fi there for like?
they do, some of them that have the cards, yeah.
Yeah.
Does the Wi-Fi reach all the way to the original Jones Park where there's an awning with
That I don't know.
seating?
I don't know.
Yeah, there's a, what do I wanna call it, Kevin? Modem, whatever.
Yeah, there's a
both-
Wi-Fi.
Both bathrooms.
On the
Oh.
south one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say only if
They would have to
parking could
carry
be a
their
set,
stuff
yeah,
up.
that would be the only thing is the carrying.
There's
It's
parking?
further to,
Oh.
not on, well, I don't, is there parking actually on Main Street?
No,
No,
probably not.
not on Main Street.
I know
It's
when
just
they
that
went-
parking lot and it's one entrance.
They used to like back in and sell off it, and then they went to underneath there, and we received complaints here, and told them that it wasn't us, it was Lions Club. Some of the elderly people don't like that it's under the picnic tables, cause it's a further walk for them, it's not.
Right, because it was,
But-
yeah. it
And
was
some of them
supposed
just
be
like
that.
to cruise through and see what there is before they get out, so I don't.
It'd be just a temporary thing though. It'd be for, would it be like for a year?
Yeah,
You know, if
it's fine.
somebody complains about it, it'd be like, you know, well, we've got construction going on, I'll just wait for the next
Yeah,
year.
cause the other thought was, asking the bank to have it up there when the bank closed, because farmers market's from 4 to 6 p.m. So having it like in that parking lot, or, they had talked about asking at Skips, sorry, I know that's not it, it will always be Skips, cause I can't think of the name of it, but, having it
I
there.
still do it
but,
there.
yeah. So, I don't
Well,
know, I
the-
mean, there's options, but
Don't the Amish sell right out in front of Skips anyways?
in the grass.
grass
and
knoll,
fence, yeah. So I guess that was just the thing, we just, if there was a preference.
When does farmer's market start?
Generally, it's the last Wednesday of May and it goes really until the end of September. And then the whole other host, we know that there's been a lot of discussion about what can be sold, what can't be
This
sold.
changes it a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Can't
so
buy
I went out and
salsa no more.
I'm telling you, and like the people that do canning and stuff, like, it's saying that you can't, I mean,
Oh.
that's according to like the guidelines for the
I got
state
you.
has put out for farmers markets.
Yeah, Kansas Department of Health and Environment makes those rules.
What that got me was pickles. I mean, that's vinegar.
I know.
What lives in vinegar?
Listen, I did like 100 jars of pickles, I mean, a couple years ago, so I don't know. Now I wouldn't even be able to give them all. So just something to noodle, I guess, something to think about. Vendors are asking, she tries to get stuff out to vendors at the beginning of May, so maybe if you look that stuff over, I guess, and then maybe next meeting, I don't know.
Put it back on the
I think one question,
agenda for the next meeting.
the big question we're gonna have is how much equipment is the construction and all that gonna have out there?
Yeah.
Parked out there, so.
Exactly, yeah. My biggest thing, which, some of our other club members, said that they didn't think that there would be an issue switching halfway through or starting it at one place and moving it. For marketing purposes, that is kind of a nightmare of marketing it one place and then switching it up because people inevitably are gonna go to the place where you originally marketed it.
So if we are able to do the food trucks up where we want, and we can use the picnic tables and stuff up there, maybe you could do the farmer's market up there too.
Yeah, we just need the point of contact to find out. I mean,
We're
I
only
know
talking a year.
Charlie goes up there on Saturday mornings and does his, but I think he had to deal with, Justin.
From the school,
So,
So if you guys are interested in that, we can ask them or get your.
yeah, that, yeah, whole information would be
Okay.
fabulous.
So we'll bring it back next week.
Okay. That's it, that's all.
Thank you. Is there anything with this purchasing policy that we need to discuss? I didn't see it on the agenda.
Yes, so paying bills on the agenda.
Okay, so it's gonna come in line with the next one. Okay.
So.
Okay. So last meeting, I brought up, and I do think we need to review the bills more closely. But following that meeting, when we approved that, we had this guy talk to Michael and Emily and all. We have, I guess, a number of bills that are set up on auto pay, like cell phone and that kind of stuff. And then there are normal operating expenses, buying paper, buying toilet paper, buying, just supplies. That, by the way the motion went, was absolutely everything has to come before council before they pay anything. There was, in the bills that were paid, there was one that if we had done that and it waited till the next council meeting, there would have been $150 late fee. So it was gone ahead and paid because otherwise we incur a late fee. I think that there's things that we don't have an option really to discuss. Electric. Where are we gonna argue for an electric bill? That kind of thing. My thought is more along the lines of projects, because we have projects that, we say, well, we want this, but then it comes and it's a different amount, but we've already paid that kind of deal. And, I think if it's a project, I'm more interested in seeing those. If it's a big bill, like the skid loader and stuff, yeah, I'd kind of maybe want to see that and approve that check, that we say, yes, we approve this amount, this is what it is, yes, go ahead and pay it. But,
You've already made the motion to.
I was
Right.
gonna say, when you make a
We've already made a
motion and a
decision,
second and
yeah.
vote on it, that it goes through, then
Yeah,
we've approved it,
true, that's true.
which is, basically what you're saying is what I was trying to explain
I think
at the last meeting.
like for me, it's like the street bids, the street ones, because we do have change. They do come back with changes and all this, and it's just there are times that we have had bills that were wrong, and we paid them already, and we find out after the fact. We've had those, but I
Even
don't.
on the street stuff, when they came back and added extra, it was brought to us before we paid it.
There have been those, yes, but we have paid bills that were wrong. And if it's wrong, they're not giving us money back. Oh, we'll just give you a credit. But it's ultimately it comes down to, I don't want to stop the front office from doing their job, but I do want to make sure that we're paying the bills correctly, especially because some of our bills are big. I think we need to, like even Tom said, we are supposed to make sure we're accounting for that correctly. But I'm not going to nitpick on how many paper clips we buy or a box of paper or that. I don't care to see those bills because obviously they're not that much. They're really not, but if we start talking thousands of dollars, tens, hundreds of thousands of dollars.
But you still, those should still come in front of us so we see what's being purchased.
Yes, and we do see those, but what my point though is I don't care to see the check on those.
Right, which is why we have
Which then goes back to what Tom was saying, that really what we authorize them to spend $200 might not be enough. But that's whether or not here or there. But my point is.
That's why we reached out to Anthony.
Yeah, my point though is I made the motion, we approved the motion to look at every bill before they send the check out. And I wanted to clarify because the way the motion was put.
So does that require a new motion?
Yeah, but I'm not sure exactly how to word it really, but I mean, it's just, I wanna make sure, I mean, if it's a big bill, yes, we make the motion to spend it,
I
but
would say make a motion to follow the city of Carbondale purchasing policy and council.
I mean, just throwing this out. Do we need to make a change to this?
Well, let's
The
review
purchasing.
it, let's review it and bring it back next meeting,
That's
so
kinda-
we can all read through this.
Yeah.
We're
that's kinda
already
what
at
I'm saying.
9:30,
It's
so-
like, if anything, if $200 isn't gonna give them office supplies, would $500 give them office supplies? You know, is it just as easy to up that just a little bit? To give them a little bit of wiggle room if they need to purchase something right now?
Do you wanna individually review this and then email us your suggestions so we can have it ready at the next meeting?
My curiosity is what normally is the cap or whatever it is.
$200 a
It's
day
$200
or
right now
something.
with us, right? But what is it for cities of third class on a typical basis?
I have no idea.
Right, so that's, I think Chad's onto something, just researching it and coming back, you know, the next 2 weeks.
Okay, review this, do any extracurricular reviews or phone calls you wanna make?
The real point of the
Talk about
follow-up
this.
part of it was, I think we need to, and, you know, I know they've worked with Anthony to get a workaround, but I wanna say that I wanna, I guess, motion that my previous motion be vacated until we do more thinking about this.
Can you motion that way?
I don't know what to do with it.
I think
You
aren't you
can
gonna have
motion to go back to the prior process that was changed on
Yeah.
whatever meeting date until
There
a
you
new purchasing policy is established.
I mean, even the city attorney was saying how he's never seen that done before, where we're approving the bills that they're
Right.
not paid. It just doesn't make any sense.
No. And I just think that I want the accountability, I wanna make sure that we know what we're spending, what we've got going out, even though we approve it or what.
Right, and that's why we put that motion into effect.
Right, but
So
it
really, we're not
caused a
arguing.
lot of problems with what exactly we're looking at before they pay the bill.
Yeah, if you wanna see them all, you're gonna be looking at a folder that's about 3 inches thick.
It
Yeah.
takes it back to the day-to-day operations.
And that's not our job. It's not.
That's the electric bill, the phone bill,
Mhm.
those kind of things need to be paid when
Yes.
they're due, before they're due. And those are, yeah, but it's like you said, we're not really gonna argue those much,
Right.
other than I do got questions on a phone bill. But
Oh, we've had questions about phone bills when people have used it for everything.
So anyways, are we doing anything?
So,
everybody,
I
everybody
agree,
should
Chad.
review and come back
Yeah.
next meeting, we'll
Okay.
talk about this.
It's okay, bring them all back to you next meeting like we did this time.
Yes, since we already have the,
I mean,
since
don't
we
let
already
anything
made the
go.
motion and everything's staying the same, we're gonna review what we have here, and we'll bring this back next meeting, and we'll
Anxious,
We'll talk
asking,
about
do you
it.
want that bills folder to be like that again next meeting?
well, we've already made the
Okay,
motion, so it has to be.
That's what we'll have to do.
Consensus for Anthony to approve anything that may, get a late fee.
I mean, then,
That's fine.
yeah.
Yes, mayor can override it.
do we need a consensus or a motion on that?
Just a consensus, I think.
Well, the motion's gonna change what you
Yeah,
made a
already
motion
did.
for last time, so.
So if other municipalities though can do that, like preemptively, and look at bills and approve them before they pay them without doing late fees, then how would we be able to do that? If we're incurring late fees by doing that, then how are other municipalities doing it without late fees?
Some parts of it are mail, other parts are, we're just gonna get late fees until a system's worked out, which is gonna take a couple months to get the flow of when and what and all of that.
Yeah.
This wasn't gonna be a process that was just gonna happen overnight.
Right.
Oh, I think we all knew that coming. So,
Some of the bills late fees could be a couple $100.
But I mean, for instance, like, just personally, and I know, I understand my personal bills are different from the city bills. But my electric bill, I know how much it is, like 3 weeks in advance. Sometimes a month. Is it 4 weeks? I'm not sure how long it is, but it's definitely before 2 weeks ahead of time. I don't know.
But we pay ours off of, I mean, you don't go online and look, right?
No, we write checks and send them out.
Right, but I mean, when you wait for a paper bill to come in, you don't do, you don't
We get a
do
paper
electric.
bill and then we send the check out.
So it all depends on Carbondale mail.
Mhm.
Like there was one that was literally due in 4 days.
Yeah.
Got it.
And you got it that day.
Yeah. And we just had a meeting.
The night before.
The night before. But yeah, it is something that needs to be fine tuned. Do we still need a motion for paying the bills though?
Yeah.
Make a motion with pay the bills.
Second. Motion by Kevin, second by Ron. Any further discussion? All those in favor? All those opposed? All in favor, motion carried. Anything off agenda follow up? Were you getting up because there was?
I think Chad had something on the bill.
Oh, there was a bill in there, yeah. I just,
Oh, I'm sorry.
so we have multiple phones on a $39.99 plan. And several of them come in at $41.56. And then several of them come in at $47.56. Is there a reason? Well, that one actually says $44.99 plan.
My guess would be is when they're added to the plan, what contract they're on,
Are those cell phones or office phones?
cell phones.
It's just, okay.
But I can double check. But that's my guess is the contract of when they're added on. When that line was added.
We have a corporate account, right?
Yes.
We have a corporate representative? Or how do we get our phones?
We don't have anyone that we call or anything. We do it all through the site.
Can you contact them and see if we have a sales rep? And see if we can do something to get all of our billing the same price? I mean, all of our phones are, I know we have some older phones, I get that. But then we have some newer ones, but I mean, can we get midline, see if we can get a sales rep and maybe adjust to a standardized pricing?
Yeah. But we add and take phones away all the time.
Oh, I know. All businesses do, but, I mean, we don't buy the most expensive phones, right? I mean, if you buy an Apple phone, you're not getting a Pro, right? You're just
They're
getting a
usually
standard.
free or $50.
Yeah. Yeah, I would see if we can find a sales rep that we have. We should have one assigned to us.
We can check.
Yeah, let's just dig it into, because the only thing I see that's different is some of the taxes and service charges that are on it. That's where it seems to have a difference, and
Yeah, I just
why
think
would
it's
one
when
phone
that
to the
line
next
is
be
added.
different? So,
Anything in notes in FY?
Just Michael singing in the
Magazine. Okay. If there's nothing else.
motion to adjourn?
Second.
Motion to adjourn by Chad, second by Ron. Any further discussion? All those in favor? All those opposed? All in favor, motion to adjourn, 9:38.